Hello and welcome friends. Today I am going to say a few words about exploratory factor analysis using the software SPSS. Actually, factor analysis can be analyzed, can be viewed from the two angles. One is exploratory factor analysis, another is confirmatory factor analysis. Exploratory factor analysis actually is a data reduction technique, or it is also known as data summarization technique. This technique is used to convert many variables or questions in the questionnaire to a few factors which may be utilized as an independent variable in a regression analysis. The name of the factors will be given by the researchers on the basis of the nature or type of questions in that factor. So, the questions in the questionnaire are treated as variables. These two are used unanimously, that means alternatively. Sometimes I use questions, sometimes variables, but the two things are same. So, factor analysis is a data reduction technique. So, from the number of questions, huge number of questions from the questionnaire, how can we convert into a group, 2 or 3 groups which contains few number of questions. Each group contains few number of questions, but the groups are not correlated with each other, but the variables or the questions within group are correlated. So, this is the most important concept in of factor analysis. Therefore, we can say factor analysis mainly investigates the interrelationships among large number of variables, questions, and then attempts to explain them in terms of their common underlying dimension or factors. Factor analysis, also known as interdependence technique, since there is no independent or dependent variable, all variables are treated simultaneously. Degree of linear association or correlation among the variables is the heart of factor analysis. All the variables, questions are strongly correlated within the concerned factors. Factor analysis based on continuous or interval scale data using Likert scale or semantic differential scale. Non-metric, categorical or nominal variables are generally not considered in factor analysis. A rule of thumb for ideal sample size is 10 multiplied by the number of questions in the questionnaire. That means for 10 variables or 10 questions in the questionnaire, we need 10 into 10, that is 100 sample roughly. More is better. Variables should be interrelated and sample must be homogeneous. Assumption of multivariate normality is not required in factor analysis. Some important concepts that are very important in related to factor analysis. One is factor loadings. Factor loadings is nothing but the simple correlation between the variable, that means that particular question, and the factors. So, the degree of linear association between the variable and the corresponding factor is the factor loadings. Factor matrix and factor matrix contains the factor loadings of all the variables on all the factors. Eigenvalue. The eigenvalue represents the total variance explained by each factor. Actually, it is the square of loadings across the particular factor. Generally, we take its value as greater than 1. Communality. Communality is the amount of variance a variable shares with all the other variables through components or factors. It should be greater than 0.5. Cross loadings. When a particular variable or question comes under 2 or 3 factors, then it is called cross loadings. In case of 3 factors, we have to delete the particular question from the questionnaire. Or in case of two factors, we assign that variable on the basis of its loading or on the basis of rationality of the factor or factor's name. That means on the basis of the name of the factor, we can assign that particular variable which has cross loadings in two factors. The KMO test, that is Kaiser-Meyer-Olkin test, that is popularly known as KMO test, measures sampling adequacy, whether the number of samples are adequate or not. It is used to examine the appropriateness of factor analysis. High values between 0.5 to 1 indicate appropriateness. Values below 0.5 imply no. That means we cannot able to run the factor analysis because of the small sample size. Bartlett's tests of spuriosity. Here the null hypothesis is no correlation among the variables. Actually, it should be rejected for conducting factor analysis. If it is accepted, then we cannot able to run factor analysis. We have to apply some other technique, or we have to collect more sample, or we have to redesign the questionnaire, something like this. So the degree of correlation is measured by the sufficient amount of correlation is measured by this test, Bartlett's test of spuriosity. Now rotation. To get a simplified or clear structure of the variables among the factor, we rotate the variables. Sometimes we see that many variables, maximum number of variables, consists of one factor. One factor consists of maximum number of variables. Others are 1 or 2, something like this. So we have to rotate that. So that that means that this is known as rotation. It may be very max rotation. It may be orthogonal rotation. So many rotations are there. Okay. So sometimes too many variables are loaded in one factor and few or none to another factor. Just to make a fair distribution of the variables among the factors, we rotate the variables. Generally, for orthogonal rotation, that is 90-degree rotation, we use the term, the process that is given in SPSS software, Varimax rotation. This rotation is called orthogonal rotation. Hence, the axes are maintained at right angled. It implies factors are separate as much as possible. Professor J.K. Naik. An orthogonal method of rotation that minimizes the number of variables with high loadings on a factor. On the other hand, oblique rotation, the axis not maintained at right angles. Oblique rotation should be used when factors in the population are likely to be strongly correlated. In factor analysis, the principal components analysis is generally used as a method used to determine the minimum number of factors that will account for maximum variance in the data. Scree plot, another important term that is used in factor analysis, Scree plot. It gives a rule of thumb idea about the number of factors in that particular study. Factor scores. Factor scores are composite scores estimated for each respondent on the derived factors. So on the basis of the number of factors, it may be 2 factors, 3 factors, and there may contain 4 or 5 variables. So from each variable we have to take the response of each respondent, and we have to take the average value of the responses, and in this way we can calculate the factor score. By combining all the variables, factor scores is automatically derived by SPSS, but we should follow, it is better if we manually calculate the factor scores on the basis of the final table. That means which variables are under which factor. In this way, if we can able to calculate, it may provide a better result. Now this is an hypothetical example. In this example, we are going to apply factor analysis, and the research problem is that we want to measure that what are the factors that determine the satisfaction level of an academic institution of a student. Is a hypothetical set of questions in the questionnaire. So this question here is based on 17 questions, and in terms of factor analysis, this is known as 17 variables to measure the satisfaction level of a student from an academic institutions that in which he or she has studied or has completed his or her study. Now the satisfaction level has been measured, which variables, which factors play important role for measuring the satisfaction level. This is the objective. To measure these factors, we have selected these 17 hypothetical questions. Okay, I get sufficient information about the matters related to my studies. Then most teachers are always available in the department, outside the classroom also, for helping in case of any academic difficulties. There are enough necessary tools and equipment for studies. The university's tools and equipments work properly. Teaching aids are available as planned. I can get help in the use of equipment when I need it. I am satisfied with my opportunities to use IT, especially for email and software at the university. The university computers and networks function well. Classroom arrangements are well organized. I have achieved the objective that I set for my learning. Various teaching methods have been used. I have received sufficient feedback on my studies. I have the opportunity to give teachers feedback. My interest in studying English language and different cultures has grown. The assessment criteria of courses have been explained to me at the beginning of the course. I get assessment results, marks within a reasonable period of time. Behavior of the office staff is friendly and fast. So these are the questions, and all the questions are given to the respondent and collect the response. Response are given in Likert scale from 0 to 5 or 4. 0 means neither agree nor disagree. 1 means strongly disagree. 2 means agree, disagree. 3 means strongly agree. 4 means strongly agree. In this way, on the basis of the researcher, the Likert scale, through Likert scale, we can get the information from the respondent. Now we have to export this into the software, in SPSS software. In the SPSS software, it looks like this. This is the variable view. These are the variables, and these are the variables, and we have to reduce this size in this way in SPSS by clicking, dragging. We have to reduce this, but before that it looks like this. In the Excel file it looks like this. You have to write it horizontally. These are the questions, the name of the questions, and you have to collect in this way from each respondent. These are the answers from each respondent. There are more or less 70 respondents. That means sample size is more or less 70. Here it is. So sample size is 70. In this way we have to put the data, in the Excel file. After that, this is the SPSS software, and you have to make it in the rearrange it in this way. Now we will perform our factor analysis. Go to analyze, then go to dimension reduction, go to factor. Then you have to put all the variables in the right hand side. By individually you can put, and you can also put by selecting all the variables at a time. So press the control, and then in this way select all the variables by pressing the control, and then just move into the variable sector. Then go to descriptive. Now go to coefficient means correlation coefficients. Then KMO and Bartlett's tests of spuriosity. Continue. Next is extraction. We want to eigenvalue based on greater than 1, and scree plot also we want to seek scree plot. Continue. And this method is based on principal component method, though there are many methods, but we generally use the principal component methods. Next is continue. Then go to rotation. We need orthogonal rotation, that is why Verimax rotation. We click Verimax rotation. Continue. Then scores, we want to calculate manually scores, so we should not use save, we should as variable. So we should not select this save as variable. If we select this, then we will get the factor scores, but we want to do it manually, so ignore this, skip this one. Then next is options. In the options, sorted by size, click this one and suppress small coefficients. Absolute value below, we can write it here 30. Okay, so continue and then click OK. The result will come. SPSS will provide the result. This is the correlation matrix. So through this correlation matrix, we can able to see that there is sufficient degree of associations exists or not, though there is particular test is there. Okay, but still we can see from this figure also, from this picture also, sufficient number of correlation exists or not among the set of variables, because correlation is the heart of factor analysis. The Q1 1. In this way we can able to Q2 correlation 1 perfectly correlated. So another thing is we can set, C Kaiser-Meyer Olkin measure of sampling adequacy. This is 0.539. Generally we say that it should be at least 0.6, but still in some literature it is also informed or written that more than 0.5 may be accepted, the sampling adequacy. But since this is hypothetical data, we should in practical, when the researchers will conduct this test, definitely they should maintain the sample size. Just for explaining this, we have taken only 70 sample size, and it is showing that sampling adequacy, the KMO test, the statistic is 0.35, but it should be like more than 0.6. It's better. Better if it approaches towards 1, it is better. More approaches toward is better. So Bartlett's test of sphericity is significant. That means sphericity is significant. Okay, so that means there is sufficient degree of association among the variables exists. Now communalities, as we know, communalities, it should be greater than 0.5. How the proportion of variance of a variable among different factors, it is communalities. And total variance, 66% variability is measured by six factors. Since at the component 6 the eigenvalue is more than 1, and after that it is less than 1, we should not consider less than 1 eigenvalue. More than 1 up to 6, that means there are 6 factors, and which explains 66.84% of variability. For example, the first factor explains 23%, the value is 4.06, and the percentage of variance is 23%. Similarly, second one 11%. This is before rotation, but after rotation the first factor 13.58%, second factor 12%, 11%, 10%. In this way we can explain that the percentage of variance with respect to the different factors, 6 factors. This is also the graphical plot through which we can able to understand the number of factors. Okay, we can get rule of thumb. This is the component matrix. That means if there are 6 factors, which variables come under which factors. Okay, since this is without rotation, so we need rotated component matrix. We need to check the rotated component matrix. Here the rotated component matrix is like this. Okay, now how can we explain the rotated component matrix? That will be explained in this way. So this is the rotated component matrix. So for explanation, we can take this one in the Word file and paste it in the Word file. So this is all the factors are here, factor 1 to 6, and these are the variables or questions are here. Okay, so on the basis of this, so it is clear to us that question 3, 4, 7, 11 and 5 comes under factor 1. Similarly, the other one 17, 16, 15 comes under second factor, third factor, fourth factor, fifth factor, sixth factor. Okay, now there are some questions which contains in 2 or 3 factors. For example, question number 15, comes in 3 factors. Similarly, question number 5 comes in 3 factors. And there are other questions, for example 15, no, not 15, question number 9, question number 13. These questions comes in 2 factors. Now the question is which factor contains which, this question should go to which factor. Okay, so for this moment we are writing, we are giving the name, because this name should be given by the researcher on the basis of the rationality of the questions. And since factor 1 consists of 3, 4, 7, 11, 5, so 3, 4, 7, 11, 5, all the questions are written. On the basis of the questions, the name is given physical infrastructure related to tools and equipments. Similarly, factor 2, ragging free environment. Factor 3, evaluation of teachers by the students, or availability of evaluation of teacher by the students. Factor 4, teaching methods and study materials, availability of teaching methods, or teaching methods, quality of teaching methods and the study material, like this. Factor 5, behavior of the staff, office staff, and availability of the teacher outside the classroom. Food security, and or that means food stall, availability of food stall and other safety measures in the campus. So we have the researcher can able to provide the name on the basis of the questions. Now we cannot put the same questions on 2 factors. Okay, so naturally what we can do, if we see that some questions are in 3 factors, so we can delete the questions. Okay, straightforward way to delete the question. Similarly, if we see that the questions, any question which falls in 2 factors, we decide that factor which contains highest loading. So in this way we can classify, but the rationality is this, that we have to select the questions if there is 2 or more factor, and then on the basis of the rationality of the factor, name of the factor, we should assign that particular question into that factor. Okay, since from the communality, okay, communality is all the value of the communality, all are greater than 0.5, so there is no question of deletion of the question from the communality's value. So we can think that if we keep, how to keep the question. So the straightforward way is on the basis of the highest level of the loadings, or on the basis of the rationality, theoretical justification or rationality of the factors. Another way to check the inclusion of question for a particular factor is the reliability test. Okay, Cronbach alpha. Okay, how can we perform this one? For example, suppose we want to test the reliability of these variables q3, q4, q7, q11 and q5. That means 3, 4, 5, 7, 11. How can we perform this reliability test? Okay, this one, go to analyze, go to scale, reliability. Okay, so just refreshing this one. Okay, so we are taking 3, 4, 7, 11, 5, 3, 4, 5, 7, 11, 3, 4, 5, 7, 11. So 3, 4, 5, 7, 11, 3, 4, 5, 7, 11, 3, 4, 5, 7, 11. Okay, and we are taking no scale if the item is deleted. Okay, okay, the Cronbach value is 0.667. Cronbach value is 0.667. Now we can also check another thing, that if we delete one item, what will be the value of Cronbach, that is reliability increases or not. So reliability, okay, statistics, click here, scale if item is deleted, if any item is deleted. That means if out of these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 variables, if q5 is deleted, the Cronbach value is 0.653. Actually our value is 0.667, so if we delete this one it declines. Similarly the other one also. So we cannot able to decline any variable from factor 1. In this way also we can able to check which variables should be kept or should be deleted in the factor. Okay, so after that, suppose after this reliability test, suppose our final table consists of these variables. Factor 1 consists of 1 2 3 4 these variables. Now the question is how to calculate the factor score. Okay, how to calculate the factor score so that that variable may be used as independent variable if we apply some regression analysis by calculating some or collecting some dependent variable. Okay, so how can we calculate the factor score? Okay, so go to our Excel file. Okay, so in Excel file, suppose this is our value is Q1, Q3, Q4, Q7. What we have to do? We have to take the average value. Okay, average value Q1, Q3, Q4, Q7. What is the value? That means the respondent provides. Okay, particularly first respondent provides for these questions. We take this value and then take the average value. Okay, after taking the average value, we are getting this value. We are getting this particular value 2. So in this way we can able to calculate for the factor score for the factor 1. Similarly for factor 2. Factor 2 also P3, Q3. P3 means Q7, 17, 16 number questions, 17 number questions. So divided by 2. So in this way we can able to calculate the value of factor score for the second factor. Okay. Similarly for third factor. So these are the value. If we treat these are the factors that are influential for determining the satisfaction level of an academic institution. So these are the values of the independent variable or factors which may be used as an independent variable in the regression analysis. So here lies the importance of factor analysis. So thank you. That's all.